Welcome back to Sweat Equity. Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson, guys. All right, hope you're having a good one. A lot of football.
It's football season.
Football season
It's
coming
football
up.
season.
Like this is my favorite right now because like football season is really getting into like it's getting right into prime where you know where your team stands. Either they fucking trash or you know what they're gonna look good. You know,
right?
Maybe making it a playoffs.
And
so hey, I ain't gonna lie. Woo-hoo.
What?
Dude, I'm cowgirls, bro. All right. Texas, bro, you know, hey, they're in a slump right now. And honestly, I was a little freaking salty that we didn't get Young. All right.
Okay.
The quarterback, the first round quarterback that went to Carolina.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, because that's who I wanted to go. But now that Strauss, it's coming up, and he's on pace to be offensive rookie of the year, and making the numbers and everything like that. I'm like, you know what? We got something. All right, gotta give it to the boy. You know what I mean?
I've always had the same problem with not just the Texans, with Houston.
Who is your
football?
Team? Is it Texans?
Yeah, Texans. Let me tell you,
okay.
Houston. But I've always had the same problem with Houston football. It's the back office, bro.
Of course.
It's the back office. We'll have all the talent in the world, and the back office will be like,
fuck it up. You know what I mean?
Get rid of all these guys.
Yeah.
And bring us trash.
You know, freaking. Right now, you know, he is a freaking a shining light right now for the Texas future and the organization like that. You know, the running backs are doing their things. I mean, freaking Nico Collins freaking went off, you know, with a ton of freaking receptions and like that. Like that dude came out of nowhere. So like things are clicking, you know what I mean? And then our defense is fair, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, like,
good enough.
Okay. Talking about back office kind of shit, you know what I mean? Okay, let's think about last year, freaking first round pick, you know, or like our first round pick,
right?
Who was like, you know who we could have, all right, like that. You know, okay, do you know who we picked?
I don't remember who we picked.
All right, his name is I don't know his first name. Stigley is his last name. All right, number 24, Stigley, and I believe he's a cornerback.
He's got to be a cornerback.
All right. Okay, you know who could have? All right. Who's the star defensive guy right now for the Jets? By chance?
I don't remember.
No? His name is Sauce. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We could have had him?
Yes. We skipped over him and got see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And like, okay, you know, I understand, you know, they're college guys coming out. You really don't know how they're going to pan out and stuff like that. But I'm like, really? Everybody was talking this guy up and like what was it? Why did it like that? You know, I believe like things came out where freaking Stigley was the more, you know, conservative, safer route or something like that. They didn't want this flashy, you know, freaking guy.
I mean, yeah, you do.
Bro, you know, like okay, good bad press is always good press. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that, you getting eyes on you like that. You're taking big chances. You know, whatever it is like that. But this dude, freaking man, a defensive rookie of the year, most interceptions out of all the rookies, everything. The dude was freaking a shut down corner. All right, and like. I believe the guy that we freaking recruited, he ended up getting on like injury reserve or something like that. You know what I mean? And I still don't even. Right now, I'm hearing about another guy making plays on defense other than this dude who was a first rounder for first pick.
I never understood what they do in the back office.
But you know what? Hey,
people.
Obviously we're winning games right now. All right, you know, like that. I think you know because every week I like looking through and seeing where we land on the top 32. You know, like that, and so we're in the top 20 now. We're actually number 15. We're top. Okay. We're ranked number 15.
Top half.
So we're right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure, right in the middle.
You know what I did like? Not football, it's baseball. I did like that meme that they posted. The Stros posted.
Which ones?
The one that was like they asked what we would do if we didn't win the championship. I guess we'll never know. Bro, I like that. I was like, respect to Kanye, but that's good.
You know, we you know, so like this is what I get fired at.
Stros,
you know
light it up, baby.
Because like I'm like, I think it's probably only like maybe 1 or 2 years that where all Houston teams were freaking on fire,
right,
and stuff like that. But now the Rockets, you know, being who they are right now, like this right now, I'm super excited because Astros are rolling in, got a first round bye, so we're gonna be playing at the end. We're gonna be playing this Saturday. All right. freaking to start to make it to the semifinals for the World Series. Yeah. Like that, and then now with the Texans doing good, like that, I'm happy, for sure.
So speaking of Rockets, you know what hurt my feelings about the Rockets?
What?
This is 20 years ago. When the Rockets had...
I thought it was like, they're thinking about bringing back fucking...
No, man, the Rockets had been making bad choices, but when they had... We won a championship in 94.
Uh-huh.
And then they broke the team up, bro. And then we won again like a year or two later.
Didn't they sell it? I thought they sell it.
No,
I thought
they went, and then we had a team, we won. We had like Sam Cassell, like a bunch of young guys on the squad.
Yeah.
Then they went out and got Clyde Drexel because he's from Houston, and
bro,
I was like,
all that shit's just business, bro.
I was like, bro, stop bringing these old guys in here, man. We were winning, bro.
They they put the team together, put out all the money and cash to pay it, and look at the Rams. All right.
Oh God.
I think the Rams, since they won their championship, there's a statistic that came out that they were on a 14-game loser streak ever since they won the Super Bowl. Because they put all the money in that they needed to get the Super Bowl. They done it, and they're like, hey, we got what we wanted.
Right.
And now 14 games fucking streak. We've
done it.
So I'm like, obviously the guys in the front office, like, I did my job. I put the team that y'all won and we got a championship out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So now what?
So now they're going to ride it out like the Cowboys for like a whole decade. Like, we got a ship.
So speaking of putting the money together in the back office, what do you think about the Jets back office? How you think they feeling right now,
All right,
bro?
so I want to bring this up. We were just talking about this right now like that, so I want to hold on like that. All right. Colin Kaepernick. What are your thoughts on Colin Kaepernick?
Hey, look, I feel like Colin Kaepernick got a short end of the stick, bro.
I really do. You know what I mean?
I feel like he got the short end of the stick.
I think I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't care to pay politics like that on any level. I don't care if it's actual freaking in the government like that or freaking this type of politics, within, him just getting blacklisted.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
But like I just don't get it. You know what I mean?
I'm
like, if the kid can play him,
play him
like that.
Play
so in with that, I think it's dude is super slick, how he put the email together.
Right. I saw the email.
Like that. Did you read the whole thing?
I saw the email.
I thoroughly read it. I thought, how did you think he came off? Do you think he came off like real self-condescending or like, like kind of I told you so, y'all need to freaking, or what?
I think that he wrote the email that he had to write. Like I think he had, because he kind of has to play, like he really kind of has to play both parts, but play both sides of it.
Yeah. So in saying that, all right, I think it was like the ultimate like sit sandwich, email. All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Right.
He went in freaking, hey, I think what y'all put together right here is very promising and y'all still on track, to win a Super Bowl. But Zach Wilson does all the shit in the middle of the sandwich. And then he finished it off. Y'all give me a chance. I'm going to just be on the practice squad. I'll be over here. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. But, y'all just look at, like he did that. Like he did what he needed to do.
He did what he needed to do. But the problem is he got such a bad deal, bro.
Why? Why do you feel like I know it's been been like coming on like 10 years?
Near a decade, bro.
Yeah, like about 11, 12 years or something like that. For what? Like really just for taking a knee? Even after all the explanation that he's ever done and put out there in the campaigns, after the fact, I'm like, for real, like what is really going on?
Well, the funny thing about it is when you really look at it, right? Mm-hmm. So Tebow was taking knees. And he was praying. Remember, Tebow would come in and pray, which everybody thought was cool. But what about the people in the country that are Jewish and don't pray to the God he pray? What about that? Like he was voicing his opinion, but it was okay because it was okay for the majority opinion. Now, I feel like Colin Kaepernick got kind of like, I felt like he got scapegoated.
Yeah,
because he wasn't saying it, when his explanation was not one of anti-U.S.
Do you think it's just bad timing because where the United States was at the time?
I think that it was because of what was going on at the time. Mm-hmm. They were like, hey, we're going to make this an issue, which is something that I'll go off on a tangent on that.
Yeah.
But I think that it was something that they said, this is what we should do now.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we need. And then let's deflect from everything else and let's put the whole weight of the United States world on this man's shoulders because he
let's
took a knee.
take the eyeballs off us and then make this controversial.
And
but they do that all the time, and I don't understand why people like don't understand. Like, you know what? Like, hey, something's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I know we're looking here, but like, you know, why aren't we looking over here?
Why are they hiding the ball? Yeah. It's crazy though, and they went for it, and they were like because he kneels during the pledge, the national anthem, he hates the military, and I was like, wow, bro, like he wasn't like
but he came out and he told everyone why he does it, and it was for, you know, like someone he met in the law enforcement, you know, like that, you know, and like that, you know, he's giving them, you know, their dues and their credits or whatever like that, and this is his form of how he's showing it. And then like people were like, we don't give a shit. Stand if you like, you know. So it's been a while like that. Again, I don't want to get into all the politics. It's you know, we at this point we're just beating a dead horse like that. But
you know what hurts about it the most is you take guys like Colin Kaepernick, and we've seen all the stuff that he's done since. He's an intelligent guy.
Oh yeah,
like he's not a dumb shit.
I wonder what he went to school for. Do you know?
No, I don't have any idea. But he's an intelligent guy, right? But he's a football player. And most people won't respect the intelligence level of football players. Like maybe let's just be real. Like unless it's like tennis or golf, like people think you're a dumb athlete, right? And so, you know, this guy he's out here, he's using the platform that he was given to make a statement, right? And then you take it and you hold it against him. I mean, you know, the guy believes what he believes. You don't have to agree with what he believes, but y'all kicked him out of the entire league, bro.
Yeah, he has a bachelor's degree in business management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
You know, and he went to Nevada.
I can see that.
You know, so
he's a smart dude. We talks. He's articulate.
He's a smart dude. He's ready, man. You know, I don't know how many times he's. And then did you see the list though of recommendations on that letter,
bro?
It was like 5 freaking well-known people in the league.
Dude, he was good, bro.
Yeah,
Colin Kaepernick was not single-handedly, but he was definitely part of the catalyst that was saving the 49ers back then, bro.
He's honestly the only reason why they even made it freaking all the way to the Super Bowl, you know, like that. And you know, whether they won or lost, you know, like that, he was their saving grace. You know, that's the year when Alex, because fucking JJ Watt ended his fucking career after he broke his leg. Anyways, Alex Smith. That's the year that Alex Smith went down. He came in and fucking, you know, free and then kept shit going. Like
played the game.
Yeah, played the game.
Played the game. He played the game.
So did you see Dwayne Johnson reach out to him and offered him a position in the XFL?
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
So like that. Oh, freaking! I don't see any type of reply back. But at the end of that little tweet, you know, Dwayne Johnson did say like he doesn't think it's gonna happen though. But hey, you know what I mean? Dwayne Johnson made a good point too. He's like, hey, you want to showcase what you still got like that, and freaking want to work up. Hey, you gotta, you know, you can always come for us. And
so that's what's weird about it is we know about the typical life of the football player, the NFL athlete, and it's brutal when you're live in game, but you've been out of game for a minute, bro.
Yeah,
you're talented. Don't get me wrong.
There's a reason why fighters always take a freaking, you know,
a
tune-up fight. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, Russ winning is a freaking real thing. You know, your timing, you know, your freaking speed, your power, everything's a little off. So I'm pretty sure it works the same way.
Like, you could be hella accurate. He could still. I mean, I'm sure that if you gave, you know, Brett Favre or Peyton Manning a football right now, Troy Aikman, they'd still be relatively accurate when they throw the ball.
Yeah.
The question is, can they still read the defense fast enough to get the
yeah,
to get the ball
and see,
out
and that's
there.
another
Move
thing
with the
too,
speed.
because then the defensive schemes have changed a lot. You know what I mean too.
Right.
So like what you were used to seeing back then, 10 years ago, now like, man, yeah, you're gonna be off.
It's
way
different.
off.
It's different. It's a different game. The game
So
keep changing.
I don't see where there's a problem at all. Him taking a step back, XFL,
Right.
getting freaking the timing, the speed, the precision,
Canada,
everything,
yeah.
all that up to par. You're not gonna have freaking those freaking high level schemes. I wouldn't think so at the XFL level. But the thing is now, like, again, it's a tune-up. What I
Right.
mean, do one, maybe two freaking seasons there, and then you got eyeballs back in it. You're playing the game that you want to play. I'm like,
and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, you're getting paid for it. Like,
and your body's different, bro.
I'm not sure what he's really doing at this point. I'm like, hey, he got a business degree, so I'm sure he's doing something. But
What do you eat? 32?
Him?
You?
I'm 35.
35.
Yeah.
Bro, how does your body feel after taking a shot at 35 versus taking a shot at 25?
Oh no,
bro, 10 years.
And we're gonna ask me that question a little bit, all right? Because we don't, like that. We got a lot of question of the days like that, and that's one of the questions. All right,
Okay,
I want to know what you say too. Like that.
Well,
yeah, at the end of the day, for sure, I'm like, even you're 45. All right?
6, bro.
46 now. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, it's like, okay, I just referenced this song the other day to one of my clients. All right, it's Toby Keith. All right, in his song when he was like, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good as once as I'll ever be. All right?
Okay.
I don't know if you know that song.
Right.
Right?
No, I don't know the song.
Yeah.
But I have,
all right. But that's what the whole song is like. You know what? Hey, like that. And every times where I'll be going in, like, let's talk about last night. Okay.
Right.
My sparring sessions are on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
All right. So I'm like, I had to kind of like reality check myself, because I'm going in the cage with guys that not as experienced as me.
Right.
So, at the end of the round, my chest is puffed up. I'm like, I can fucking do this, man. If this is a competition, I'll beat everybody's ass. But then I'm like, then I got to be like, oh, you know what? These guys, they only been training less than a year or maybe 2 years max.
Right.
Of course I'm beating their ass. All right.
Right.
Like,
let me remember where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't want to be, freaking Tony Ferguson going, that. Like, what did you see what he said the other day on his little confession? He said, like, he's like, bro, I'm in the prime of my career. I'm gonna go for another freaking like 20 years. I'm like, bro, stop it.
Stop.
Right? I like that. Isn't he like fucking 0-7?
Something like that. He hasn't won a fight in a long time. Bro.
Time.
And it's weird because when you look at him, one of his greatest assets was his athleticism.
Yeah.
And
like his aggression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I speaking about aggression. This is exactly why being 35, going into your 40s, and stuff like that. I know I don't think it's that, like you physically slow down, or you lose your no, because like I'm like you can maintain that stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
All right, like that.
You keep it going.
I'm like, okay, let's just take someone that is freaking still training like that. You're gonna keep your power. You know what I mean? I'm like, if anything, you kind of feel even stronger. I'm like, that's why people always talk about old man strength. You know what I mean?
Your Romero?
Huh?
Your Romero.
Look at that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He debuted in the UFC when he was, I think, like
38, 37,
something like that, in his mid 30s.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like that. Look at freaking Anderson Silva. He debuted when he was in his freaking early 30s. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, you could still do it, and even in his early 30s, dude was fucking lightning fast.
Right.
All right. Like no one can touch it. He had great head movement like that, knocking people out. With slip jabs. Like that. You know what I mean? But still, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. Those are anomalies like that, but it can be done. Okay. Where I feel that why people in their older ages like that is because they understand that the recovery aspect is not there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm like, so freaking you getting punched or you getting kicked and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't have this reckless abandonment of your body like you would be in your 20s.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
You're not throwing it all out there anymore because
I was watching some of these Pan Nogi freaking matches, bro. And like the transitions, bro, it was just so like, you know, what we're talking about, two stripe white belts going at it on a Saturday comp class.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
it
I'm like,
hurts
it's
to watch
just
sometimes,
it's just
bro.
reckless abandonment with your body. Like, you know, you like, you know, you don't give a shit no more. You know, you're posting out things, you know what I mean? Like, and as like now you're 35, 40 and stuff like that, you know, and then you have a couple injuries. You know, you understand that, you know what, I got a fucking loose shoulder, you know, my knee does, you know, buckles, but you know, with my lateral movement like that, like you can't just
too many heavy collar ties. I can't look left the next 3 days.
Shit like that, you know what I mean? So 100%. That stuff is in the back of your head. So you're a little bit more, you're slower just because you're more cautious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like that. The experience is there, but you know, you ain't going for exactly. You know, you ain't just going balls to the walls no more. You know what I mean? Just bouncing off the fucking walls and fuck it if I fucking, you know.
But
just,
you know, that's also, and you know, when you think that's what they talk about when they talk about these, because you have the older guys like the Donald Cerrone's and all those guys that know that they get injured. But so they wait and they watch for their opening and they wait for that young guy to make that stupid mistake and go for that flying armbar. Yeah. And then you're like, oops.
So, okay. All right. I'm not putting no names out there like that, and I don't think he watches this. Last night, sparring, all right? Okay. I'm 5'9". All right. I'm right now waking up in the morning like 168. Okay. Like that. All right. The guy was sparring, okay. He's been here, you know, a couple months, you know, less than a year for sure, like that. Right. About 6'1", all right, and easily, like, you know, if I had to age him, about a good 210, 215. Big boy. All right, he's solid too, though. He big lifts, boy. All right, like that. Big he boy. Lifts, okay, right, like that, okay. And then so going in, like I was already watching him, freaking going with the other guys, all right, and he hasn't gauged at all his speed and his power at all. Everything is 100%. Even though I'm chirping from the outside, control, watch your power, you know, like that. Everything is a closed fist, and it's not necessarily with bad intentions, but he's swinging for the fences. You know what I mean?
I know a guy who's trained like
that. Like that, yeah. All right. So I went in with him. All right. Okay. I went in him purposely. The next round, I was like, all right, and I thought he was gonna kind of dial it down on with coach. First exchange that we did, bro, massive cross hook. You know what I mean? All right. So, all right, clear some distance. All right, shook it off, you know, because he you know, I deflected the hook, but he did catch me. I could feel it through my glove. Right. All right, like that. I was like, okay. All right. Bro, I freaking went in to the body. Someone taller like that, I always go to the body like that. Right. And then I caught him with a cross hook coming up. All right. Like that, because when I went in, he leaned straight back. And then, you know,
whole midsection right there, please.
He leaned straight back because freaking, you know, I pumped my jab upstairs, you know, just to get him, you know, feigning back. Then I went downstairs and then quickly came back up with a cross hook upstairs. Chin was so high, bro, freaking rocked the shit out. I knew he was seeing some stars. Right. You know what I mean? In the real fight, bro, I would have unloaded.
We kept going?
Yeah. But, bro, I thought like that, okay, I was like, all right, you know, that was going to freaking, you know, cool him off, you know, like, nah, again, dude came back. And then I went back to that same combo. He wasn't stopping it because he kept on leaving his chin in the air, you know. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, things like that. Okay, what were we talking about real quick? Hold on.
Experience, bro.
All right, experience, okay. So, you know, I unloaded on him, you know, and you know, to like, after that, when the second time he got rocked, you know, freaking, I could tell like visibly, you know, he took a knee, you know, like that. And then I stepped back. I was like, cause there's no use for like, you know, especially when you're training, you know, just keep unloading and like that. Yeah. So I let him, you know, clean the cobwebs. I'm like, you all right? Like that. Then for sure he just started dialing it back. You know what I mean? You know, like that. You know, so
it's amazing how people don't realize what, like, they think that they're getting. They think they're doing something. They think they're getting the best of you. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about before, when you roll with somebody younger or some younger in belt rank or whatever. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, I'm getting the best. I'm getting the best.
Oh, yeah, because there's levels.
Yeah. You know, and then you're like, fam, that's okay. I'm gonna have to show you.
Okay. So, all right. Now it hit me back while we were talking about this. All right, like that. You're talking about Donald Cerrone waiting for the opportunity and stuff like that. All right. I know that I wasn't gonna go. All right. Toe to toe with this guy. He's taller. He's a taller fighter. He has a longer reach. All right, like that. All right. And so I had to wait for my opportunities.
Right.
I knew he was loading up on a lot of shit. Okay. And he freaking, and then, you know, like, I get this from Saul and stuff like that. What I tell my students now, I'm like, you know, you slip, you make a miss, and then freaking all their weights forward, they're going to be in that oh shit moment. You know what I mean? All they're trying to do is like, oh shit, I need to get my weight back. Yeah. I need to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So that's what I was like. I was watching because he was loaded up on a lot of stuff. So, you know, what you're talking about, those older fighters, they're waiting for their opportunity now. All right. They're more experienced. They seeing the patterns coming and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was slipping to the outside of that big, because all he was really throwing was his crosses and his hooks. All right. So I was
power punch.
Yeah,
nothing
like
but power punch.
Nothing straight down the middle, nothing really getting me off line to set up the power punches on the outside or anything like that. You know, so, you know, I was getting underneath his hooks. All right. And then I was slipping to the outside of his crosses, you know, to open up those opportunities for me to unload, you know what I mean, like that. So, so yeah, you know, that's what it was. But exactly going back to what you're saying last episode and stuff like that. All right, I like the skill gap.
Yeah,
you know? I like it because okay, let's go with another guy that I went with earlier that day. All right, he totally understood the skill gap. All right, between me and him. All right, and like nothing on him, and I had a conversation with him after sparring and stuff like that. I was like, look, I know that you know that whatever you're gonna throw, I'm gonna probably come back with you 2-3 more punches. All right, I'm gonna make you miss with the one punch that you probably threw, and come back with 2 or 3 more punches back, you know, to make it really pay for it.
Right.
All right, but do not stop throwing, you know, punches. Okay.
I think, Matt.
You know, and it's because with people that really overthink things like that with the skill gap, then they just freeze. You know what I mean? They're just, you know, they're just so frozen to throw anything. They're thinking so much in their head, and then they don't even pull the trigger.
You know who my favorite 2 guys that you have to spar with are, and I have no idea if they watch.
Who?
Drake.
Oh, and, okay. You're talking about my guys.
Your guys. Drake and Justo.
Yeah. The tall guys and softpaws. I hate them.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. They are both southpaw.
Yeah.
But the thing is they do what you just were talking about.
Yeah.
Or at least they probably still do a little bit, but they both respect that there's a skill gap.
Yeah.
But they don't let that stop them.
Yeah.
They keep trying. They keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
But not like push forward like I know I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah, they're not.
But
just
they push. They
blind,
push. Yeah, they push for it. I like training with those 2 guys. They're pretty. And I forgot they're southpaws.
Yeah, they are southpaws.
Yeah, that's a Justo's more annoying as a southpaw, I think.
The thing about Justo that okay, me being a smaller guy, and he does it with everybody because he's the biggest kid in the freaking ring. All right?
No shit.
Yeah, he really is. All right. Okay. So he does it with everybody, but you know, I hate it because I'm constantly on my horse. You know what I mean? Freaking cutting angles, backpedaling, and everything like that. Just because he's that true Muay Thai style, just walking you down, coming forward, and then like there's a lot of times I'm like, bro, I know, I freaking, you know, I probably hit him with a good back spinning heel kick to really freaking take a lot of wind out of his sails. Nope, he comes forward.
He walks through leg kicks too.
You know, yeah. You know, like leg kicks, you know, he has beefy legs. All right.
Yeah, he walks through leg kicks.
Like that. But I'm talking about like gut shots, you know, like that. Because like, you know, like that's my go-to a lot of times. You know, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna really, you know, I'm tagging you in the head, but I'm not really rocking you where I'm getting the respect where you're keeping your distance, like with him, you know what I mean, because he's bigger than me, so like my shots don't really affect him as much as if I was a freaking heavyweight like him.
Yeah, 215.
Yeah. So then I rely more on like trying to slow him down with the gut shots or the kicks, you know, like gut kicks and stuff like that. Still nothing, bro. And like he does such a great job on freaking putting us poker face on, because after the match he's like, coach, like, yeah, that shit hurt. But like in the match, like in my head, I'm like, God damn, there's like fucking a minute and a half still left, and this dude is still walking. Down.
Yeah, he's still walking.
Yes.
But see, I used to like that when we would full spar with him, when I'd full spar with him, because one thing that. Because he is a true Muay Thai guy. So if you shoot for the takedown on him, then he's kind of like...
Bro, I have to really time my takedowns on him, bro.
Really?
I'm like, I'm a good wrestler and everything and all, but like with just the size difference, I'm like, bro, he just has some strong legs. I'm like, bro, some tree trunk legs. You know what I mean? So like...
I like Justo.
you know, if I know I'm gonna really, I try to get, if I know I want to go, I'm gonna go with him and stuff, and we're doing MMA, you know, like that, because like there's days that I split it up, you know, a couple rounds of boxing, couple rounds of kickboxing, couple rounds of MMA.
Okay.
But then like on a Saturday where, you know, everything is just all full rounds MMA, you know, with small gloves like that. I'm like I really try to break up, you know, I try to get him early in the rounds where I'm fresh and I know I can right. like that. Right, or later in the rounds where I know he's already a little bit weary and tired like that, and I'm still kind of fresh, you know, right. Because I kind of like strategically pick, okay, let me go with these two easy guys
to try to balance out the
let me get these two semi-easy guys, you know, reserve some energy, and then I go with him and just all out, you know, freaking 5 minutes, waste my energy on him.
Bro,
you know,
I like those two, and I'm glad they're still around.
All right, guys. All right, so
enough MMA.
Yeah, no, let's stay with the MMA. All right, okay, I know freaking Mikey. You know, you want to talk about some Mikey, you know, like that for sure,
bro.
Before we get into who's bro, have you been seeing these videos of him freaking Muay Thai hitting pads on the Muay Thai?
I have seen them.
What do you rate his technique, right? Okay, I know he knows nothing, but just rate.
I mean,
stick to jiu-jitsu, bro.
He looks like a new Muay Thai guy.
Bro, yes.
That's what he looks like. And the thing about looking like a new Muay Thai guy
would never think that this is the most dangerous grappler in the world.
You would never think that just looking at him anyway because of the way he looks.
With this addition of what he's doing.
But the striking, and that's the thing about it that's so bizarre is because Muay Thai is very, like, when you see somebody that actually practices Muay, like the good guys, like Raw Dang.
Yeah.
When you see them hitting the pads, I don't know how the pads even stay together, bro. Like, I don't know how they don't blast through them. And then you see, then you got Mikey at 112 pounds or whatever he weighs, hitting the pads terribly.
Yeah.
And then you're just like,
pawing at the punches.
Yeah, you know. Just stop. I mean.
Right. Like, okay, so, all right. Like, aside me just being a MMA trainer and stuff like that, you know, I started my career doing personal training. Okay.
Right.
And so, like, just like a horrible, like, you know, habit of mine that I do as a personal trainer, you know, when I people watch, I just look at everybody's, you know, freaking, you know, body, you know, posture and stuff like that, you know, and like, and I don't know if you picked up on this, all right, when he's in his stance, okay, off the bat, I can tell that he has a serious, all right, interior pelvic freaking tilt, all right, like that. So like, you know, just if you don't know what that, you know, what that means or anything like that, all right, just picture a girl taking a picture, you know, in the club. What do? They stick their butt out, you know, like that. So what happens is that, you know, let's just picture your tailbone, all right, it lifts up, your tailbone lifts up, and then your pelvic, you drive your belly button down. Good, yes, all right. So it tilt like that. He has a serious interior pelvic tilt like that. Mikey's a smart guy. I'm pretty sure he's well aware of it. I don't know if like this is just what over years and years of him playing his style of jiu-jitsu and like that. You know, and it benefits him, you know, like that. Right. So I don't think it's anything that he would. I think he obviously has to be aware of it. And he needs to really start looking at, you know, mobility drills to offset that.
It may be a posture issue altogether, though.
No, see, the thing is like, it's one of those things where, all right, if let's say like a singer, you know what I mean, they like they're a great singer, you know, but they don't like their nose. But they're real scared to freaking have any type of, you know, fix their nose because then it might change their voice.
Change their breathing.
For him, you know, he's so set in his ways of his style of training and stuff like that. You know, if he starts to address it, maybe he doesn't have the same mobility, flexibility and stuff to get into those same transitions that he does, that he's so well for now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. And so, but you can just tell how tight everything is in his pelvic, you know, of just always sitting, you know, forward and staying small, you know, in that open guard position that he loves so much, you know,
that he's amazing in.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So
amazing
while he continues doing his career, I wouldn't suggest changing that. But being very aware that, you know what, once you're starting to dial it back and you're not going to be competing no more at the level that you're doing, I'm like, that's a serious thing you need.
May want to start addressing it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to have a super effect.
And knowing him, I'm pretty sure he has a great team of people around him that have probably addressed this. But honestly, the first video that ever came out of him hitting those pads, I'm like, that's the first thing I saw, bro. It was like, I have a whole, like, going to the mall or Target and stuff. Like, I just have like that people rounded shoulders and stuff. Like, God damn, just do a couple, just do a couple fucking seated rows. Like, how you fix it, you know?
Just
what
stand
I mean?
up.
Like
just
that.
Stand all the way up.
Yeah, like things like that. Dude, it's just a horrible thing I do about it like that. But like, yeah, that's the first thing I saw.
Yeah, well,
let's talk
match
about
tonight though.
Yeah.
Because it's tonight against Shanae Aoki. Should be good, bro.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good match.
So I asked you, and I want to confirm. Go ahead and tell me. I want to confirm because if he's been defeated or not.
Bro, look. The way that they list their defeats versus their not defeats. I mean, he's battling, so I'm sure he's been defeated. But this is going to be a leg lock battle, bro. They're going to go at it, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mikey's giving up weight in this one.
How's he giving? He's already.
No, I think the other guy's heavier. I think he's going. I think he's fighting. I think he's fighting.
I thought you're like saying
opponent.
that they're gonna go down.
No. There's no way. There's no way. If Mikey he'd be a bag, just 2 bags of noodles. But I think that he's fighting a bigger guy, if I'm not mistaken. And
what? Maybe like 135 or something like that, or what?
Probably. It's gonna be a really good match to watch. It's gonna be a really fun match to watch. Because Mikey's game, when he was here stateside, he competed a lot in the gi, right? But now that he's in one, he's competing a lot more in no gi, and it's just amazing to watch.
It just says open weight, it doesn't say what.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, he's giving up. I know he's giving up size in this one, but now he's competing in a no gi, and it's really amazing to see the way that his game has evolved. Still a lot of the the open guard stuff, but his game has really evolved to adapt to this no-gi style, and he's really good. Kid's jiu-jitsu IQ is super high, man. It's really good. I kind of want to see him compete in the gi again, to be honest, just because it's it's been so long. He's so
I think
good,
if one probably comes out and starts paying him to do gi matches, that's probably the only reason why. But
man, I don't know. I get it, but I don't know why one doesn't. I mean, you could think about the matches you could get in the gi.
Like who would be your first like premier?
Bro, if I was going to,
they already have off the bat. Freaking, you're gonna have to get a freaking.
Bro, I would Mergali and Victor Hugo.
Oh, or Mergali versus
Felipe
Buchecha.
Pena. But bro,
have they ever gone against each other?
No.
No, you don't.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think. I think Buchecha freaking retired before Mergali came into the scene, or was at least a black belt.
No, they were on the scene together because
they just never
one
met.
year, Mergali fought Lowe, and Lowe was supposed to fight Buchecha in the open weight.
That was when Buchecha just gave it up.
And that's when Buchecha, I think that's the year Buchecha just passed it. But I think that Mergali was heavy, Buchecha was ultra. And so they never, their crosses passed never met. How you see that going?
Hypothetical. It's obviously a hypothetical
I
match.
don't know, man. That's going to be, because Buchecha's got an amazing guard, bro. Mergali's got a good guard. Buchecha's got an amazing guard. Buchecha's big.
Yeah, he is.
He's big. Yeah. But Mergali's gotten big too. Like not fat, but he's gotten big. He's put the size on. Yeah, he's. I think that would be a really good match. I just haven't. The problem that I would have, honestly, is, I think that Mergali was up and coming in the gi, and is still going in the gi. And Buchecha took the gi off and geared towards something else.
Yeah, which is MMA itself.
Right, and I don't know. I still think it'll be a good
right
match.
Now they're both on the no gi freaking path right now, freaking, because one's doing obviously all just MMA, just style of no gi, and then Morgali's really coming in.
I think it would be good match to
talk
watch.
about
I'd watch
Nogi and stuff like that and strong people. Like, do you see anybody right now freaking going against or even beating Gordon Ryan? Nah. Why?
Nah.
What makes him unbeatable right now?
So I think that what makes Gordon unbeatable right now, and I'm not going to go into the whole.
Let's just try to just keep it as broad as
everybody will
simple.
talk about his steroids and all that bullshit. It's not. It has nothing to do with that.
I was telling that the other day. I'm like, okay, let's say he is taking steroids or whatever it is like that. All right, it still doesn't freaking allude that it's the experience and the knowledge that he has to recall to freaking actually to implement whatever the transition.
You don't learn jiu-jitsu doing steroids.
Yeah, you're gonna be fucking stronger and faster. Yeah, of course.
I think what it is, I think what has happened is he has gotten with a coach that knows how to train him.
And that's another thing I talked to. When I had this conversation like that, I'm like, John Danaher obviously is gonna go down as one of the greatest jiu-jitsu coach-minded person, freaking of all time. All right, but then again, what I brought up was but he's not for everybody. All right,
that part.
All right, I'm like the reason he's been has so much success right now with the guys that he has is because those guys, all right, have found him, and it's a very specific bond. You know what I mean?
Those are
because I'm like,
yes,
absolutely. I've tried to freaking listen to some of his teachings and YouTube and whatever. It's just so dense. I'm like you just cannot get through it. You know what I mean? I'm like, who enjoys really? Would you really enjoy listening to an audiobook? About the dictionary. You know what I mean? I was like, that's exactly like the only way I can really put it. It's very educational.
Funny. That's funny.
All right, but like it's just so dense, it's like that, and it's just a specific type of people, and those people that he gravitates are going to be very successful because you know what? They gel together and they're meant to be.
Even when you look at coaches in general, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the Galvaos, you look at the Mendez, you look at Mikey Galvao down in Brazil. Mm-hmm. Like you look at different coaches and you see what it is that they have, and some can just kind of have general success. I don't feel like Danaher has general success. No, I feel like he has some people that are really good, mm-hmm. and then you don't hear about kind of everybody the whole because just like you said, I mean he's super cerebral. And I know Nicky Rod makes fun of Gordon Ryan about being autistic and all this other stuff. And maybe he is. Like I don't have any idea, but
he might be a savant.
The thing about people that are autistic is there are things that they can pick up, and they pick up well. And maybe he could be completely autistic. Like, I don't know. Maybe he wears a helmet all day long and has his but he understands the way that Danaher philosophizes jiu-jitsu, mm-hmm. and I think that's what and if you look at, by the way, on BJJ Fanatics, mm-hmm. his instructionals are ridiculously priced. The Gordon Ryan it's ridiculous to cost. What are they? They're $350. Right. I mean,
a 30-minute video.
Yeah, buy it if you want to. But each one of his videos is called Systematically Attacking This. Mm-hmm. And what it is it's a path. It's a if A, then B. Mm-hmm. If not B, then go to C. Mm-hmm. And so you're just looking for certain cues, and you're just following a path, and that's the way he learns. And I think that makes you a lot more like in MMA. I'm gonna figure out what this guy's pattern is, and then I feint the jab, he's gonna lean straight back, so mm-hmm. I'm gonna go here, mm-hmm. and he just has a path already decided in his head, mm-hmm. and he just knows I'm going to do this, and this, and I just think he's going to be really, really hard to beat. I think he's going to be, and I don't know who's going to beat him. I don't know who's going to beat him. The person that's going to beat Gordon Ryan, I don't believe is a black belt. I don't believe that today they're a black belt.
They're not a black belt right now.
I know. I think they're a brown belt someplace, and they're going to get their black belt, and then they're going to threaten him.
Towards the end of his career,
or maybe next year. But they're not a black belt right now. It's none of the guys that we know right now. I don't think any of the current black belts is going to beat are the current like known common competitors, and I don't think it's going to be those.
What about
guys.
someone like let's see, man, they could throw out so many hypotheticals and stuff like that, like because I'm like, I does Eric Moniz, he doesn't do no-gi, does he?
So I've never seen him without the gi on. I think that would be a really interesting match to watch.
Yeah,
but I don't think I've ever seen Muniz without
and
a
then
gi.
Let's go back to Buchecha. Has him and Gordon ever gone at it?
No. Ooh, no. I don't think so, because I think that Gordon stopped competing in the gi.
How many times has Buchecha done ADCC? I don't think he's ever won multiple ADCCs, has he?
No. And I don't think he's done ADCC. I don't think he's done ADCC in a while.
Yeah. So those are like hypothetical matchups. Like I see guys right now that are on top of the jiu-jitsu world as for like absolute champions that I'm like can probably like whatever Moniz. I don't think I've ever seen him do no gi. So I'm like,
wow. So Buchecha has won some golds, but he won gold in China in 2013 and Finland in 2017
for ADCC.
ADCC is years ago. In 2019 he got bronze and silver. Ooh, did he fight Gordon in 2019?
It should say in there. I don't know.
Huh.
Like I want to say that probably did happen.
Let's see.
Yeah.
He lost to Gordon Ryan. Negative points.
So
in ADCC.
So it's just a referee's decision.
Yeah. Kind of a stall.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I remember that he pulled guard and lost a point.
Who did? Buchecha did?
Buchecha. If I'm not mistaken.
You lose points for pulling guard?
In the first 5 minutes.
That's weird.
Bro, ADCC has but if I'm remembering correctly, that was the match. But I mean,
yeah. Well, you see, those are some hypotheticals right there. They're probably, they really want to find the next guy to really give them
a hard time.
Yeah, give them a hard time.
It's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be hard. The kid's just good, man. There's no knock on the kid. The kid is really good, and I know everybody's like, well, let's see him put on. I think everybody's problem with him is he just ruffles everybody's feather. That's all it is. That's it.
And he's walking the walk and talking the talk. So obviously no one's gonna, no one can really say anything. You know what I mean? But the thing is like, I'm always like, take the higher kind of role, you know what I mean? Just handle business, and then take the glory and the fame that comes with it, humbly.
Right.
But you don't gotta, freaking do both and then talk shit and then take your glory and your fame, freaking with it. Like, it's just too much. Where it's like,
I think the thing that gets people the most is he always says, like, I'm the greatest grappler of all time.
Yeah.
Like he said, like, that's what gets people the most. And if you look at it, like, people will say jiu-jitsu is in the gi and grappling is without the gi.
Yeah.
They will say that. And if you look at that, then you say, okay, well, maybe so, because he's not saying that. But when he says he's the greatest of all time, people are like, well, but then put on a gi and prove it. Like, do it both ways.
Yeah.
Prove it. That's what people want to see. But I mean,
well, so what would your standard be for greatest of all time? Do they have to be
you have to be gi
both
and no gi?
Gi and no gi?
So I think you have to be Marcelo Garcia.
Marcelo Garcia.
I think you have to be. Yeah. I think you have to be Marcelo Garcia. Hydra Gracie.
The Mendez. Freaking.
Hoffa gi.
Yeah. Hoffa.
Like you have to be. But really, like you have. That's what you have to do. Because if you're gonna be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Like of all time. Like the greatest to ever do the sport. Like you have to do the whole sport.
Yeah.
Marcelo won gi and no gi.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Buchecha, he won multiples in gi and no gi as well. Like that. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean that's to me. But at the same time,
I agree. Totally agree.
But did you watch the Who's Number One event that was in Houston last week?
Yeah, I watched the highlights. I didn't
Bro.
watch all the way through. Freaking and the Mika and then freaking Tackett.
Bro.
That was pretty. I think that's probably one of the best showcasing of grappling, like wrestling. Exchanges. I've seen in a while.
So Micah fought. I can't remember who got the first round, but
he fought he fought Jay Rodriguez first.
He fought Jay Rodriguez.
That was
first.
some good wrestling
that
as well.
That was really good wrestling. And then Pat Tackett went against PJ Bart and then got hurt.
That's what I was talking about. Let's scratch what I said about freaking Tackett and Mika with wrestling. Jay Rodriguez and Mika got about. That was some good wrestling.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good wrestling.
That was
really good. But then, but
and then then also too, like, kudos to Jay. Freaking you could tell that, like, if you watch the whole match, he was probably in a lot of just defense a lot of times, survival mode a lot of times, because Mika was he was constantly just on the attack.
Right.
And wasn't really letting Jay get to anything like that. But kudos to him, because bro, he was showing a lot of heart and then crazy defensive transitions to get out of position, to get back to his feet and in the center like that. Like, yeah, he was never in a good position ever. You know what I mean? Like, right. That. But, with the amount of wrestling and then getting caught in certain transitions, because, Mika was just one or two steps ahead of him.
Bro, he was spamming.
He was able to just freaking always defend, slip out, or roll or something like that. That armbar, when he was calling that armbar and how he defended that.
That was gnarly, bro.
Like, I was like, oh, that's it.
That was not.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 rows later. Dude pops up, freaking get on top. Like, it was a lot of crazy transitions. Yeah.
Well, see, so when I watched it, because what I thought the final was going to be Mika and Andrew Tackett, and I don't know how. I mean, like I say, I'm fairly well acquainted with the Tackett brothers, and so I don't know how Andrew got hurt, and I hope he gets better soon. But I really want to see Galvao and Tackett go, because the Tackett, Tackett was all over PJ Bart through the match, and it was different because Tackett's been doing a lot of ADCC stuff, and so it was like ADCC attacks. Like, the mat would end, but he was in transition and he was just still going. Like, he just really wanted. They hit the scores table like 5 times. Like, it was an amazing match to watch. It was very, very good exhibition of wrestling on both of those two guys. I would really want to see it there, but I think they're both like 19 or 20. Like, they're both really young.
Mika's still 19.
Yeah, they're really young. They're both really young. I really want to see those two guys get to go at it.
Yeah, but like, going back to what I was saying about freaking just careless with your body, bro. Like that. Like, I was watching some of those slams and everything. I was like, you see, me at 35, I don't want to do that.
I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give up the position.
Like, did you see he finished with a? He finished. Galvao won.
Yeah, he almost had a little suplex. Like, oh yeah.
A little suplex?
No, yeah.
He suplexed him and then went for another one.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Like that.
You can suplex me one time, bro. And after that, I'm anchoring my ass to the floor. You're not ever getting me up in there again, bro, at all. That was crazy.
No, yeah, for sure. It was a good one. And then obviously with the 145, I didn't get to see how. Who was the finals for the 145? Because
it was
Baby Shark. Was it good? Was it Gable? Mm-hmm. Like that? How did that end? I didn't think I.
He got submitted.
Did he? How?
Yeah.
With what?
Good question. I don't remember. It played out and it came on. It was a good match. I want to say.
I need to watch that one again.
I want to say armbar.
I don't think I saw that one. Bro, I know Baby Shark won, but I don't know how he won.
It was a really good match. That was and Gabriel looked amazing in his first match because his jiu-jitsu solid.
Yeah,
like I've trained with him.
Yeah, he's strong. I've trained with him too.
It's really solid jiu-jitsu. Really solid. And as good as he is in the gi, I think he's better without the gi.
Yeah,
I think Gabriel's better without the gi because you can't neutralize his explosion, and so The match he had with Baby Shark was really good. It was a good.
I'm gonna have to watch that one again. I went through after everything was posted on YouTube and I watched them like that, but I didn't get a chance to watch that one.
Yeah, and then Gordon just
arm drag, freaking takedown, took his back over arm bar.
Yeah,
So,
it was
textbook.
It was just he did exactly what he and I know he has the little box that he gives at the end. He's like, I'm gonna call my submission and all that.
Like shit like that is unnecessary.
Well,
that's why people hate him.
Well, to me, like if you go out in a match and you're like, you say, I'm gonna put in a box how I'm gonna submit the guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me another submission, I'm just not going to take it. I'm just going to go for the submission that I put in the box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he put that he was going to submit him by armbar, and he went after the armbar because I personally think he could have won the match earlier than he did with a couple of techniques. But it was really dominant. It was really controlling. It was good, man. It was a good event. It was a good event.
Yeah. All right. So we every week, guys. All right, we always I like to try to do it on Wednesdays, Thursdays. I need to make that an actual
question day.
Question day. Yeah, like that. So we got a lot of questions, guys, that we want to get to. All right, like that. So so let me go ahead and jump right into it here. All right. Do you have any questions by chance?
Bro, I didn't know Buchecha was 6'3", 258.
258.
That's a big dude,
That's a
man.
big guy. It really is. All right, first question right here. All right, like this. What's the hardest thing about being a personal trainer? So, man, I don't even know where I have to start, bro. I can go on a whole tangent about what the hardest thing about being a personal trainer. And when I saw this, I really had to think about it. What's the primary thing for me?
Right.
All right. Before I answer, have you ever had a personal trainer before?
Yes.
How was that? How was your experience with that personal trainer?
I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. What was your goal?
My goal is always just to have somebody in the gym yelling at me so I do shit.
Just accountability?
Yeah, because I'm like...
You're not going to do it yourself?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, 15 push-ups, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to go home.
Okay.
So I feel like it's...
And how long did you train with that personal trainer?
We were probably together for like 6 months, 7 months.
Okay, typical. Like that. I always account for any client. About 4 to 6 months. That's usually that. Anything beyond that, 10, like 8 to 10, is above average. Like then, if you really have those people, I've had someone that I've trained for like 2 years. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah,
like that. And so those are freaking. Those are the guys like. Majority of the time, it's just a person that they know they want fitness in their life and they need to be active. And they need the accountability, and they're well off financially, so they can afford it.
Right.
So those are typically when you see guys like that, where they're just longer. Consistent enough that long, that they can afford it. But typically, the average person, they have a set goal in mind. They got to go to the beach to just chill on the freaking, look good in the bikini, laying down. Instead of
it's a wedding in Dallas.
Yeah, like that. December. And then 4 months. Let me lose all the weight I can, look good, and then put all the weight back on like that. All right. Yeah. So, all right. I'm happy that you said that about the accountability. Though, right. So that's, thinking about what the hardest thing about being a personal trainer is for me. All right. This is for me, my opinion only. All right. Is that I find myself where I want it more for the person that comes to me for help. All right. I think that's where it really gets me, where it's the hardest thing. All right. Because, all right, when, let's just say someone that comes into my office and they want to lose weight. Off the bat, what I really hate is that how they tell me they want to lose weight and they want to they have all these goals and stuff. And in my mind, I already know what they really want. They don't want to lose weight. They want to lose fat. Okay. Right. And then when I start to dig in and start to peel back the onion, to find out that, and then we're actually starting to apply, man, they're all gung ho for about a week, and then they start to really see how hard it really is. All right. Yeah. Because, hey, I'm sorry, but there's just no magic pill out there that's going to freaking get you the body that you want. You know what I mean? And so it's just very hard when when they start to see how really steep this hill is to get to the goal that they want and really keep the body that they want, when they start to see like fuck, what a lifestyle change really is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that. Then, now they start to be inconsistent. They start to miss days. I'm trying to hold them accountable. Then they get mad at me because, now I feel a little bit more pushy, freaking get your ass in the gym like that. And then shit just goes sideways, and then they don't even come back. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, it's just like, well, is this my goal? Or is it your goal? Why do I feel like I want this goal more than you? So I feel like, if I had a really, like, I can go with it a million different ways of what's really hard about being a personal trainer.
Right.
But I think that's what it overall really, really is, because, I'll be the first one to tell you is that it's like, being a personal trainer can be very lucrative, but I never really got into it because I the amount of money that is involved with it or anything like that, is because I genuinely want to help people out.
Right.
And then, when you really have someone, I'll give you an example right now. I have a young lady coming in right now. All right. 2 kids. Right now she's on dialysis, like that. And she's coming to me fighting for her life. She needs a new kidney.
Right.
All right. But before she can be put on the donors list like that, she needs to be a certain weight like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and then, so how long is it going to take for her to get that up to that certain weight, and then to be on the donors list? And then on top of that, when you get on the donors list, how long are you going to freaking be on the donors list to finally get that call? Be like, hey, we got you a new kidney. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that, so right now, I'm in week 2 with her right now. All right. Our goal right now is just this month, try to put on 5 pounds. Okay. Like that. So, very obtainable, nothing super crazy. Her ultimate goal is to put on about 15 to 20 pounds. You know what I mean? Like that. So, so I'm going through it, and every day I'm asking her, like that. I'm texting her, and, and then we do two personal sessions a week like that. And the thing is like, I'm like, look, I'm like, I need you to do these things.
Right. I need you to eat.
Yeah, I need you to eat, like that, because you're already on dialysis, and you're already weak from all those treatments that you're doing like that. And then because of dialysis, she doesn't really have an appetite. So like I'm really fighting an uphill battle, to really keep her accountable and keep her on track of her goals and things like that. But the thing is like I would think that right now, even for you, where it's something, it is going to cost you your life. You would do anything and everything, that I'm really, telling you to do right now. But like right now is like I'm already in my 4th session with her, and I've already asked her a couple times, have you eaten today? What did you eat? And it's like, oh yeah, I had a milkshake, a protein shake and a hot dog. And I'm like, oh, like, bro, this is not what it's gonna, like
one
that.
One of the hardest things to do is to eat, 1,700 calories at 2,000 calories, but it'd be like good food. Yeah. Like that's hard. Like, yeah. Like you're eating all day. Yeah. You're eating all day long.
Yeah. Like, like when,
it's obnoxious.
Yeah, when like as a personal trainer, and telling you, freaking that you need to start eating good foods and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, well, what's good foods, like that, and then because they majority of the time, freaking 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a client that they really don't want to put the research in and to really figure out and gain the knowledge.
Right.
They look at you like, this is why I'm paying you.
Right.
Well, I'm not a certified nutritionist.
Yeah, I'm not a dietitian.
Like that. I'll tell you what I could recommend, and freaking what generally what works best for everybody, but you still need to put in some research of knowing what works best for you like that. But the thing is like when I start to tell them like, hey, stop eating processed food, anything in a can, in a box, in a bag, all right, let's stay away from that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory and generic. You know what I mean? Let's go and start shopping more. Don't shop in the aisles. Let's shop, the grocery section where there's fruit, there's vegetables, there's chicken, like that, the perishable aisles,
right.
Like that, let's start shopping there. And then, cause this is discouraging. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? When I was on my grind and really, getting back in shape and looking the best I can. And, after my knee surgery, I'm like, man, buying protein and stuff like that, Whole Foods, it could be very expensive, especially if you're going the organic route. If you really start to focus on the organic side of it like that, yeah, it can be very expensive.
Super expensive.
Like that,
And if you don't eat it, like you got like 3 days to eat it.
Yeah, and like, but is it worth it? All right, let's take freaking let's look at the the processed food versus that. I'm like, of course, tenfold. 100%. You're talking about freaking either adding or taking off almost 5 to 10 years of your life, depending on whether you go the processed way or like that. You know what I mean? So like I will spend, let's say, $3 to $4 or $5 more on freaking organic something,
right?
Knowing that that's gonna freaking take off 5 more years, like that. I'm gonna live 5 more years, or something like that. So
when people always ask me, they say, because I'm like, of course I'm not a personal trainer, but people are like, oh, Jules, what is this? And I'm like, look, man, if you want to go and lose weight, go to the gym and all that, that's all fine and good. But you need to figure out what your actual goal is, because a lot of people want to lose weight, and they say, I want to lose weight, and they say, well, how much you weigh now? I say, oh, I weigh 215. You say, well, okay, well, how much do you want to weigh? You say, oh, I want to weigh 150. Like, okay, but then you look at your MMA fighters, and they're 170. They're built like a brick shit house. You see them and they're big. What's it, Chad Mendez? Yeah. You look at these guys and you're like, look at this guy. He's 160 pounds. Like, do you want a number? Or do you want to look? Yeah. The only time the number matters is if you're competing in an event. Yeah. I could if I'm not competing in an event, but I still look good. What's the saying? What? Booty butt naked. Booty butt naked. If you still look good,
you trying to look good naked.
You know what I'm saying? Like then that's what you're then. If that's your goal, then make that your goal. Yeah. Don't have the number be your goal. Yeah. Because the number can be deceiving.
No, it is. And so that's what I say, when I have someone, 9 times out of 10 when someone comes in, they're like, I want to lose weight. I'm not hearing them, I want to lose weight. What I'm hearing off the bat is, I want to lose body fat. That's what they want to lose. Right. All right. And so, okay, typically it's going to be a female, you know what I mean? Like that, that's how it really works out. It's very rare that I think I've been personal training people since 2015. All right, and I've only trained about 3 males. All right, really? And 2 of them were gay. So there you go. All right, like that. Yeah. All right. So 4 males. All right, 4 males, and 2 of them were gay. All right. So there you go. All right. Like that. So I but the thing is, like,
why did you do the University of Texas thing when you said gay? Is that a thing that's Longhorns? Yeah. Huh? Okay, whatever.
I thought that was the Dallas Cowboys. Shots fired. My boy B, he knows who I'm talking about. But yeah, but the thing is like, yeah, exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? All right. Let's say that you can't afford personal trainer or anything like that, and you're trying to do it on your own. Right. All right. The biggest misconception, the hardest thing to really get over is the weight scale. You know what I mean? Stop looking at the scale. Throw that bitch out. You know what I mean?
It's a waste of time, bro.
I have a scale in my gym, but I keep it in my office away from everybody because I hate people always weighing themselves. You know what I mean? Like exactly what you're talking about. If you're not doing a sport and you have to specifically be, a certain weight, 125, 135, whatever it is for that competition, there's no reason for you to be weighing yourself. All right, like that. Muscle is a lot more dense than fat. All right, like that. So, freaking, and then, so when you're weighing yourself, you probably lost freaking, 5 pounds of fat, and then gained 6 pounds of muscle. Right. Now, I'm fucking freaking out. I gained a fucking pound.
I gained a pound.
Like that, Yeah,
but you're a ton smaller. You're let's
just take about the average person throughout the day that, their weight, your weight. I'm talking about the morning that you wake up. All right. You're eating 2 to 3 meals a day, drinking and eating and stuff like that. And the time that you get home, all right, you're going to be weighing anywhere between a 3 to 5 pound difference.
At any given time in the day.
Yeah, any given time of the day. People don't take accountable of that and stuff like that. Right. They're just thinking, I woke up at 160 and now I'm 165 at night. I'm like, yeah, you had 3 meals and fucking shit like that. You probably didn't even work out.
Right. The whole day.
Yeah, the whole day. I'm like, well, of course. You don't. Where do you think that food is going? You think you just shit it all out? No, fuck no. I mean, it's just crazy to think those things. Like,
and it depends on what you eat too.
I think the main thing. All right. But then again, all right, because they see. All right, they don't see that number fucking plummeting down to where they want to be at, like that. Then they freak out because it's going up a little bit, like that. Right. I'm like, if you want instant gratification when you're starting out and you're working and you have goals, I'm gonna tell you where your instant gratification is gonna come from. It's the amount of weight that you put on the bar. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the amount of weight that you're picking up off the rack. You know, that's where your instant gratification is. Okay, today, you know, I'm doing bench press and dumbbell press, and I started with 10s. You know what I mean? Next week, you know, my goal is, or you know, next week I picked up the 15s. That's your instant gratification. That's how you know that you're getting stronger. And because you're getting stronger, what does that mean? You're building muscle. If you're building muscle, what does that mean? You're starting to burn more calories. If you're burning more calories, what does that mean? You're starting to lose body fat. You know what I mean? So it's just a long laundry list of shit that, you know, starts to, you know, freaking accumulate, you know, like that people don't really account for, because you know what? The weight scale hasn't gone down.
Because the weight scale hasn't gone down. I was just, you was funny you said, I don't know, we got more questions, but I was going to ask you that when you mentioned that. When you start talking about the instant gratification on the weights, like if you're a consistent worker outer, and I'm talking about lay person, like a regular person that goes to the gym twice a week, 3 times a week.
Yes.
Twice a week, 3 times a week. What is a good, like, progression for weight? Like, should you say, you know, you work out with this weight and then go up every 2 weeks? Should you try a little bit more every week? Should you?
It just depends on what your goal is. All right, that's the first thing I'm gonna ask. You know, are you trying to go to the gym to be as strong as you can? Are you trying to go to the gym because you want to be performing for an event, or like, you know, it really is like that. All right.
Right.
So let's just leave it generic. Okay.
Right.
Like that, you know, because there's 3 different types of freaking, you know, lifting styles, you know, like lifting ranges. You know, you have your strongman, you know, like that, where, you know, you're typically going to be between the 4 to 8, you know, rep range, like that. So that, you know, if I see you doing those 4 to 8 rep range like that, that's going to typically tell me that, you know what, you're trying to get real strong in the gym.
Right.
All right. Then your hypertrophy, is typically where it's going to be 10 to 12. Like that, or, you know, 10 to 15 range like that, you know, that's more for like performance. You know, it's a mixture of endurance and strength, you know, like that. And so, and then, you know, then you have your recovery range, you know, where you're talking about 20 to 30 rep range like that. You see what I mean? Right. That's for, you know, your rehabilitation like that. You know, you're coming off of an injury or some surgery like that, you know, and you need to get that muscle firing again and strong again, you know, like that.
Okay.
So any type of injury. So like that, those are the type of like that. So depending on where you're at, you know, freaking, you're going to be there. All right. And then as you progressively overload, you know, like that, starting to get stronger like that. I'm like, you know, your body, you got to read your body like that. And it typically, what you know, the rule of thumb is that you want to leave 2 in the tank. All right. Like that. So let's say, you know, you're doing bench and you're trying to get strong. Okay. And like your goal is to get to 225. You're just trying to, you know, you're a newbie. You're trying to hit 2 plates on each side, you know, like that. Okay. Right. And then let's say, all right, right now your 1 rep max is, you know, 200. Okay. Like that. But you're working out, you know, about 60, 70, you know, your workout weight is probably like 70, you know, at 70%. You know, let's just put a number at, you know, freaking, you know, at you're working out with 175. Okay. All right. So you do that. All right. Let's say you're doing it for about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks like that. And you find yourself where, you know what, I'm doing 175 10 times. I'm not even freaking breaking a sweat. It's easy. Okay. So let's go up about 5 to 10 pounds. Okay. Like that. You go up 5 pounds. All right. And then you're struggling on rep 6 or 8. I mean, like, but you're struggling on rep 6, 7, you know, but you're getting to 8. All right. Like that. But maybe all right, then you went up and you went up to, you know, 185, but then now you're struggling at rep, you know, 4 or 5, and you still got 4 or 5 more reps to go. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much weight. You know what I mean? Like that. So typically, you know, when you're progressively overloading, you know, the rule of thumb is to leave 2 in the tank. All right, like that. All right. If you're not struggling at all, go up 5 to 10 pounds. All right. If you're struggling too early, then you need to pull it back like that. You know. Oh yeah. But then if you find yourself where, you know, that 2, you know, 1 to 2, where you're like, you know, like that, those last 2 reps, you know, like that, that's where the muscles growing like that, and you're in that sweet spot. And just stay there until, guess what? Until finally you find yourself where, like, you notice all right, boom, I just pumped all these out again. It's time to go up.
And it's time to go up.
Like that, you know? So, yeah, that's rule of thumb for sure. All right, next question.
That's good.
All right. All right, so let's, right here, this is a good one, all right? Would you do a boxing match or a kickboxing match? All right.
Okay, who?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This, all right, let's keep
kickboxing match or a boxing match?
Again, I'm old. I can't take punches, you know, and kicks like I used to like that. But insane that, all right, because I can't take the damage, all right, and I'm not as reckless with my body no more. All right, I just want to worry about one thing and one thing only. I'd rather do a boxing match. I don't want to be worrying about punches, kicks, knees, elbows, you know, like that.
It's funny because I was thinking, I was like running through the scenario in my head, and I was like, man, a boxing match. Well, you know, we talked about it before.
Yeah.
You know, sparring with the boxer is different because they sit on their punches, and their punches are savage. But I only have two things to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. It's super technical. I'm not gonna knock that at all. But the thing is, I only have to worry about two hands. I don't got to worry about, you know, like that. I have to worry about two limbs. All right, well, and I have to worry about 8 limbs.
It's actually it's because when you're at kickboxing, it's hands, elbows, knees, feet. Yeah, that's a lot, bro. Like,
fuck all that, bro.
All
right.
Yeah,
and spinning shit. All right, there ain't too much spinning shit in fucking boxing.
No, there's no spinning shit in boxing. There's no spinning shit in boxing.
So you know, like me boxing at my age right now, if I had to pick either or, have you ever saw this thing on Instagram? This is in Thailand. There's a restaurant where you can get a free meal if you fight for it. Have you ever seen this? I'm about to send you that.
And I'm not going to Thailand to fight anybody for any fucking food, bro.
Bro, there's like this big old country white boy in there.
Oh, I have seen that, bro.
Annihilated, bro.
I have seen that.
By like this 5'5" freaking 140-pound fucking Muay Thai dude.
Right, who's probably 70 years old and been a pro for 10 years and shit like that.
Oh
no
my
way,
God.
Bro.
I was like,
I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that.
I'm like, the currency exchange, you know, is pretty well off. So if you can't afford a meal in Thailand with American dollars, I'm like, man,
but
something's wrong.
But what is that? That is people taking ass on vacation and getting hurt.
Hey, exactly.
You know,
I'll do it.
Yeah, man, fuck that.
Probably took probably about a fifth of sake in or whatever the hell alcohol they drink over there.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, bro.
Some straight gasoline, and they in there fighting for a cheeseburger.
I'm not doing that. Here goes, $20 or whatever it is. I'm not doing that.
Let's see. Next question. Oh, so how do you still get in your own training? Okay, so me being a coach like that, obviously, I think for any freaking student, that's a big question all the time. Right. Honestly, right now, all my training is just through the classes. Right. I really regulate myself throughout the week to not really push it, because I structured my schedule where I have my rolling days one day and then my heavy sparring days one day. I don't stack them. Ain't no fucking way now. Me, like being an instructor and watching everybody, then I'm freaking going 80, 90, 100% with my students. Like, I'm gonna get through a whole freaking day like that. You're talking about
2-3 classes a day.
Minimum
There's
3 hours of freaking straight training. I'm gonna be beat.
There's no way.
You know what I mean?
That's hard recovery too.
It really is. I'm not recovering like that, like I used to. So freaking, I structure mine where, like that, where I have my heavy rolling days and then my pad days, then my skills days teaching jiu-jitsu, then my sparring days, where I know for a fact that I'm gonna get a good 12 to 14 hours of recovery time before I have to get back in there. And then depending on how I feel, I'm like, there's just sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna spar. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm like, I'm here to train y'all. Y'all are here to beat each other up now. You know what I mean? So just depending on how I feel. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, for sure. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I shy away from that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but for sure, I don't really shy away from any of my jiu-jitsu training because I still compete jiu-jitsu. But as for you know, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, and stuff like that, when the guys are sparring and stuff, yeah, like, you know, there's days where if I'm not up to it, you know what, I'm gonna just step back and I'm gonna just coach.
I'm
you
just
know?
gonna chill.
Yeah,
keep your hands up
like that, you know, for sure. You know, but you know, it is a difficult thing, you know, to come through, you know, as alongside, you know, not really big on not really keeping up on my weight training like I really should, like that. But yeah, you know, I'll have my pockets of days where I go in and I'll do get a lifting session and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got to think about that as well, you know, where I'm not stacking those days where, you know, freaking going back to back on those.
Bro, I used to go leg day, like heavy legs, and then like comp jiu-jitsu training. Bro, that was stupid, bro. That was dumb to do.
Yeah.
That was dumb. I'll never do it again.
Yeah. All right, last one before we wrap up right here. How do you balance between being a parent and training? I think this is a good one for both ones.
Man. That's hard, bro.
Yeah.
So for me, I sacrifice everything else. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's work and then, you know, train and then family. And so when people are like, hey, let's go to lunch, I'm like, man, if this is something that's going to take me away from my kids, like outside of my, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like I try to do as much as I can because I still want to compete. I still want to give my training all its due attention, but I only have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
So I have to give whatever time is not dedicated to something else, I want to give to my kids.
You know, in saying that, I think your non-negotiables really increase. Meaning that, you know, things like that, you know, going out, you know, freaking to lunch with somebody during the weekday, for sure on the weekends, you know, like that. I'm like, I'm already introvert, so that's why me and you gel like that.
Right, like
I like, yeah, you know, a day freaking on playing some PlayStation or just chilling with the wife at home. I'm like, I'll take that over than going outside and being with the world, with people,
100%,
being with people,
Jesus Christ,
like that. Yeah, but the thing is, like, yeah, for sure, your non-negotiables start to really increase. You know what I mean? And you start to sacrifice anyway, like other than being at work, to be a provider. You know, that can never stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially now that you have, you know,
multiple kids.
You know, lives, you know, freaking, you know, depending on you, like that. You know, that's not gonna stop. But then all the other shit starts to really cut out. You know what I mean? You can't do all this other stuff no more, like that, and you really start to bear down on what's more important. You know, but then again, I'm like, outside of that, you still need to have your stress reliever,
right?
Like that, which is my non-negotiable within the house, within my family and stuff like that, is like, I need to get my training in. I need, you know, some, you know, I need to keep some type of sanity, you know, amongst myself.
Right.
All right. And so this is it, baby.
This is where it is.
Give me, you know, my 2-hour block to go in, train, you know, freaking recover, come home and stuff like that, and freaking, you know, start to really decompress like that. Then I come back to y'all. You know what I mean? That's the, you know, but that's the only place where I'm away from my family for me, because, you know, anybody needs that, and then I'll come back. Ellie
lets me get away with a lot of competitions too. But, and so that makes it even easier for me to be like, I'm not gonna do some of this extra, like people were like, are you gonna go to Who's Number One? I was like, yeah, I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna take my kids. I can watch it on TV, and I'd much rather go to this tournament. So if I'm gonna be away from my family to do something, I want it to be something related to. Yeah,
a lot of that start to, you know, take that accountability. Can I do this with my family?
Right.
Nope. Then all right.
I probably won't do it.
All right.
I probably won't
because
do it.
Other than that, then this is, you know, freaking planned stuff. Like, hey, I got to do this. You know, I'm gonna be here. All right. I'm gonna commit to this, and you're talking about, you know, freaking weeks out in advance. You know what I mean?
Bro, and it's so, and of course, you know, with Mateo, like, when I go compete, like, I'm up and down, bro. Like, it's like a job. Like, I keep telling myself I'm gonna start trying to fly in the day of the tournament. I just kind of feel like I may be pushing it. Like, I want to get a good night's sleep. Like I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock and be trying to catch a flight and then be exhausted by the time it's time to compete at 2.
It's just about settling in, you know. I get it. I hate being rushed, or you know, I feel like, you know, I'm pressed for time. Yeah. Because something's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Flight
like
delayed.
Yeah. Something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like that. You know, freaking. So I hate that feeling. I hate being pressed for time or rushed. Right, like that. You're gonna freaking leave something behind. You're gonna, you know, miss something. You know,
forget
like that.
Your belt.
And then it can quickly compile real quick, and then really take you off your game of where you're supposed to be at mentally for why you're even there anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So that
what would your number one thing be to, you know, parents, or like, you know, that want to start, you know, jiu-jitsu or any, you know, like that, you know, what would your number one thing be to them, you know, like to make them like, hey, you can do it.
Oh no, you absolutely can do it.
But what would be your number one?
If your kids are super young, like young, like Mateo's not even a year yet. He's almost a year.
He's 10 months. Yeah,
he's almost a year. So when they're that young, you know, they don't really understand the concept of 2 hours away. So, you know, you just have to make sure that you find the time and sacrifice some of that other stuff that you do. So one of the things that I tell people when they're always like, oh, well, I want to train. It's like, okay, well, if you want to train, go find a gym that's close to your house. Because then, you know, we talked about it before, people spend 2 hours of their life, 2.5 hours of their life in their car, traffic, commuting to and from work. Find a gym that's close to your job, or to eliminate some of that commute. Because if you're 2.5 hours in the car, well, what if your commute to work is now only 30 minutes, and then you spend an hour at the gym, and then when you leave the gym, you can get home in 20 minutes. You've cut your time away from your family in the car down by 30 minutes, and you've added something to your life. So you have to figure out what that structure is. If your kids are older, and I would highly recommend this, if your kids are older,
make it a family thing. Yeah, make it a family thing. Work out with them. Yeah, for sure.
Even if it's, you know, let's say you don't want to do jiu-jitsu, but you have a place like 365 or, you know, like Pablo's or some of these other places that have a gym and a skills portion also. Let your kid do the skills portion, and you go work out. And then you're in that time, you're there. Now, I would say if you have a skills portion, I would say do it and show your kids the example, but work out with them. So you still spend some time together.
You know, I'm a big advocate, you know, especially like a gym that has a kids program. I'm like, as a parent, you know, if, you know, we've talked about this, I'm like, hey, no backseat coaching. If you want a backseat coach, guess what? Put the gi on, bow in on the mat.
Here's how you tie it.
You know, and, you know, let's do it together. You know what I mean? So now you can, you know, freaking reinforce these things on the mat and then off the mat, because now it's a family thing like that. Or, you know, working out. You know what I mean? There's been plenty of times where I'm training, you know, a parent like that, and then the kid is just around, and then they start picking up stuff.
Right.
You know, unless they're going to be hurting themselves, I don't say nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, hey, come do this with mommy and daddy, you know what I mean? And then it's a fun thing, because, you know, now, you know, the mom or the dad is being an example for the child like that, and freaking now it's a family thing, you know what I mean? I'm always a big advocate about those things.
You know, one of the things that we forget about as we grew up is we forget about the stuff that we said when we grew up. And one of the things that we said was like,
I don't want to do this.
Well, somebody would tell us to do something, but you don't even do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but no, now.
Yeah, you could be the example.
I do it too.
Lead by example.
Lead by example is the best way. I've never been a fan of do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. Let's do this.
And kids is all about monkey see, monkey do. Man. So yeah. You know what I mean?
Bro.
No matter what the fuck you say, they're monkey see, monkey do, and at this they're a sponge, so they're gonna fucking absorb everything that you're doing.
So, I've been helping my dad rehab and learn to walk again on a cane after a stroke. And so I'm at the house and we're going through, and he's taking steps with the cane, and I'm helping him, guiding him, and we're getting there, we're getting better. So at the house they have these. My mom has these. Because he's got left side paralysis, so she's got this thing that's like a pincher to help him extend his reach.
Oh yeah.
You know. So the other day we're at the house.
Claw thing.
Claw thing. So the other day I'm at the house. I'm going through a thing, helping walk, and Jules is there. She's running around. She's 4. Jules is running around. Jules, she picks up one of the walkers and she's walking on it like it's a cane, bro. Right? And I'm like, fuck, man, don't make fun of your granddad. But it's because, and you've seen her when she's come to the gym, like she'll start picking up weights and she'll start doing stuff because they see you when they're doing it and they want to do it. They want to emulate you. So let them emulate you and eat a salad.
Yeah.
Work out with them.
Be an example.
You know, be an example.
Be an example.
You know, one of the hardest things that I think, and me and Ellie are a little bit more athletic, but one of the easiest things to do is just take your kids to the park and let them run around, bro. Yeah. Like you're outside, like walk around the park with them.
Yeah, Crystal does that all the time. Just
they'll love it.
Mateo loves that shit. Just watch it. Like when I bring Mateo here to watch the kids class and the kids are doing everything, he loves it. You know,
right? Or
like Crystal will take him to the library or to the little kids park and stuff. He loves just watching the kids play all the time. Yeah.
Bro, they love it, bro. They love it. And so as a parent, you absolutely can do it. You just have to make the time. You have to make the time to do it. And I say, if your kids are old enough, pick something, do it with them. And then for you, it's not working out. It's spending time with your kid. And for your kid, it's not my dad making me ice skate. It's I'm spending time with my dad. And you're building those core memories that they will remember way down the line, bro. Yeah.
Forever. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out of time today. We do have a lot more questions of the day, you know, to get to, so come back next time. All right. Again, guys, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. All right. Look us up on Instagram, SweatEquity_HTX. All right. If you have any other questions or comments, guys, go ahead and leave us. We want to get back to every single one of y'all. Like that. Any other closing thoughts,
bro? If you saw if there were any sections or paragraphs, not only from this week, from prior weeks, that you guys really like, that you think will help your friends and followers, you know, take that clip, take that chapter, take that bookmark, share it on whatever your social media platform is, because you know we're doing this for everybody who wants to listen, everybody who hear it, and if we said something that helps you out, maybe it'll help somebody else out. So you know, let them hear it too, and we're here for everybody. So.
For sure, you know, keep, give the gift that keeps on giving, guys. Like, subscribe, put the notifications on. All right, for that. My name is Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson, guys. This is Sweat Equity. Until next time, guys.